Interpreting EU states' rationale for recognizing a Guaidó 2.0 figure. As the US-led coup attempt against Venezuela enters its final stages, the European Union has opted to recognize a Guaidó 2.0 figure as the president of the South American country. 2 months have passed since the Venezuelan election on July 28, and during this period, there have been numerous attempts to overthrow the government of Venezuela through hybrid war. The country's democratic security forces have actively countered these threats, which include cyber attacks, terrorist sabotage, the use of paid street thugs, disruption of the electrical grid, damage to infrastructure, attacks against the population resulting in 25 fatalities and 192 injuries, assaults on security personnel, and a coordinated international lawfare pincer attack spearheaded by the United States deploying 2 sets of countries calling upon Maduro to step down. The article explains how the EU's overzealous role in the US-backed hybrid war against Venezuela can be understood partly as overcompensating of sorts in bids that the US allows the EU to reject the proposed tariffs and technology sale restrictions against China. The European Parliament officially recognized Edmundo González, a US-backed opposition figure, as the legitimate president of the South American nation. This recognition came through a joint resolution supported by a coalition of right-leaning parties, including the European People's Party, the European Conservatives and Reformists, and the Patriots for Europe. The resolution, which passed with 309 votes in favor, 201 against, and 12 abstentions, calls for the EU and its member states to do their utmost to ensure that the legitimate and democratically elected president can take office on January 10, 2025. Edmundo González, a prominent figure in Venezuelan politics linked to the CIA, sought asylum in Spain following the country's presidential election. After being sheltered by the Netherlands diplomats for a month, Mr. González was handed over to the Spanish for transportation after an agreement was reached with Venezuela. The former candidate requested safe conduct at the Spanish embassy, and Venezuela facilitated the procedures. His recent recognition by the EU Parliament as President-elect of Venezuela will trigger flashbacks from 2019 when the European Union recognized Juan Guaidó as the interim president of Venezuela, coordinated by several member states like France, Germany, Spain, and the UK following Nicolas Maduro's refusal to call a snap election in response to the EU's deadline. The Spanish Foreign Minister José Manuel Alvarez confirmed via X on September 7 that Edmundo González was aboard a Spanish Air Force plane after political asylum was granted. Mr. González Urrutia had asked Spain for asylum on July 29, a day after the Venezuelan election. Josep Borrell released a statement a day later revealing the Dutch government sheltered Mr. González for more than a month, after being given hospitality at the residence of the Netherlands in Caracas until September 5, political leader and presidential candidate Edmundo González has had to request political asylum and accept the protection offered by Spain. Venezuelan Attorney General Tarek William Saab confirmed that the governments of Spain and Venezuela had indeed reached an agreement to provide a safe passage for Edmundo González Urrutia to leave for Spain. Spain and the Netherlands played a significant role in the coup attempt, having taken an active stance by hiding individuals wanted by Venezuelan law enforcement and granting them asylum. Spain also set out to negotiate with the Maduro government on behalf of Edmundo González to provide him with safe passage to facilitate the asylum, as he was charged with involvement in ongoing terrorist attacks and violence. A month prior, on August 5, Tarek William Saab announced that the Public Prosecutor's Office of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela had initiated a criminal investigation in response to the unlawful statements made by Edmundo González and Maria Machado to determine their responsibility for their alleged participation. Regarding these negotiations, Jorge Rodríguez, president of the Venezuelan National Assembly, pointed out in a press conference that the Spanish ambassador was present at the meeting where González Urrutia signed the letter acknowledging Maduro's electoral victory. It is also true that since these conversations took place in the embassy of the Kingdom of Spain, the ambassador is a witness of exception. Edmundo first tried to claim that he was coerced into signing the letter, but Venezuela revealed photos of the negotiation process, showing this was not the case. As the US-led coup attempt against Venezuela enters its final stages, the European Union opted to recognize a Guaidó 2.0 figure as the president of the South American country, a decision that has interfered with the electoral process and escalated tensions between the EU and Venezuela. By providing support to the US-backed opposition, EU countries can strengthen their transatlantic ties with other US vassals playing a more active role in Latin American affairs, which helps neutralize and contain what they perceive as Russia's allies in the region. At the same time, some EU countries are trying to gain the US favor by overcompensating in this effort because they want the US to look the other way when some EU states reject the tariffs and technology sale limitations proposed by the US against China.